Hi, Sean Still, and in this video I want to talk about column constraints on our visual information radiator or active sprint board. So we're going to navigate back to our test project. Oops, hit the wrong one. Should have selected active sprint. That's okay. Active sprint. So one of the other options that we have available to us is we can put WIP limits on our columns, which is something I highly recommend. So if you're over here in your active sprint, we're going to come up here to board settings and we're going to go to columns. And right here we've got our options, column constraint, and we're going to do it, right now it's set to none, but right now we're going to set to issue count. Okay, if you can see, now it put several fields in here that's available to us. To do, there's generally never really a need to put any constraint on your to do. Ready, yeah, you might want to put a constraint on that. We'll give it, say, a minimum of 3 and a maximum of, I don't know, 10. In progress. Now, this is the one that's really important, okay? Because this is where a lot of Scrum teams go wrong, is they start a lot of work, but they don't finish a lot of work. And by keeping the stuff that we have in flight as lean as possible, therefore focusing greater amounts of attention on less items, we can push things to done a lot faster. And remember, our whole goal here is to get to done as rapidly as possible. So what I like to do is I like to set a very tight, a very tight constraint on this column, because I don't want people to start work. I want people to finish work. That's what's really important. So on all of these that are in progress, we're going to put some really tight limits around it. We're going to PO review. I'm just going to put 1 to 3. And then done, obviously, you don't want any minimum and maximum there. So I've gone ahead and I put WIP limits on my columns. So we go back to the board, and it begins to show me now where my board is a little bit less efficient, or it's not optimized. In this case right here, I've got 5 in the ready column. The minimum is 3, the maximum is 10, so we're good there. In progress, we've got 2 in progress, and we've got it set to a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 4. So we're okay there. But it's showing us, hey, you don't have anything in review. And it turns the column a different shade of, turns the column a different color, in this case yellow, indicating, hey, there may be something here that you want to look at. Again, it's a visual indicator that you may need to go have a conversation. Very helpful for Scrum Masters and product owners. PO review, we've got it set to a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3, where we have 1 in this column, so we're okay there. But watch what happens when I break my WIP limit. So I'm going to take, we've already got 2 in progress, and remember we've got a maximum of 4. So if I take something and put it over there, I'm still good. Take 1 more, I put it over there, I'm still good. I put a 5th in there, and now my column turns red, and my previous columns have turned yellow. All right, indicating, hey, there may be something here that you want to look at a little bit further. And if I move these things and get within my WIP boundaries, you can see how it changes the color. Now, looking at it, I'm not really crazy about actually having a minimum and a maximum here in the ready column. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. I'm going to go back to board settings. We're going to go minimum of 0. We're going to go maximum of, I don't know, 3. And we're going to see how that works for us. And I'm also not crazy about my maximum of 4. To me, that's too many things in progress. I want to keep that a little leaner, so I'm going to go to 3, and I'm actually going to drop this down to 1. Review, I'm going to do the same thing there. I'm going to drop it down to 1 and maximum of 3. That one is good to go. So I've made some adjustments to my visual information radiator, and based on what I did here, now you can see where we stand. And in this case, it's telling us, hey, you've got too many things in progress, so you need to really do something about it. It's drawing your attention to this right here. This part of your process is slowing down. There's too many things going on here. So one of the other things that I coach to is I coach teams to work from right to left rather than left to right. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the PO column and ask ourselves if we're looking for work to do. We're going to look at the PO column and say, is there anything I can do or help with to push this to done? Because the closer we get to the right-hand side, the more valuable the story is. Even though the story may be a lower priority, it has the greatest value. Why? Because it has the greatest effort associated with it. It has the greatest investment associated with it, and it's the closest to done, therefore the closest to actually being able to deliver to our customer. And you can see, since I've got a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3, it's saying, hey, you've dropped below your minimum. And you know what? I'm okay with the product owner not having anything on their plate. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to make that adjustment again. And so the minimum is now going to be set to 0. We're going to still leave the maximum of 3. And now we're good. But it's still drawing our attention here. So if we take one of our stories and we move it out, now we are within our limitations that we put on ourselves, and our board is our in progress column has gone from red to gray or to normal. So that's a way of using WIPs to help keep your board lean, to help keep it efficient, to help work get from the beginning to done as rapidly as possible. It also helps us to work from right to left rather than left to right. In other words, starting to finish work rather than starting work. We want to get things done as rapidly as possible, and this is a way of doing it. So that's a way that you can impose WIP limits on your visual information radiator or your active sprint board, and hopefully that helps you out. Thank you much. Bye.